Welcome to another ER Q&A episode. This week we're going back to back on ER Q&A because we had some awesome questions coming in. And today's question is coming from Ibrahim, and he is all the way from Sierra Leone, and he is wondering how can he be able to balance work and university slash college. So the number one thing that I want to say here is that most of the things are almost tipped over the plant there. Most of the things are very personal. Okay, so every individual has a different amount of, for example, if it's a person who is doing a certain degree that might require more time, and maybe the work you have might require more time, or maybe you need that job because it's helped you pay for university, you have other responsibilities. So things are very personal. I wanted to start with that before I even go into the answer, because you have to be able to kind of take information, digest it, and then basically be able to balance it based on what you are going through. We got that? All right, awesome. So for me personally, I'll tell you this from a personal perspective, a personal story. So at first, during my freshman year in college, I thought that I'll probably have a better chance if I dropped out of college and went and pursued entrepreneurship. Now, thankfully, I did not do that. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot, you need college to be successful. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is this. During that time period, I was not maximizing on my entrepreneurship. I really was not. I was not putting in the same amount of hours that I needed to put in. I was basically not maximizing it to the point where I can be able to determine, now I can be able to make a decision. Should I leave college or should I just keep pursuing entrepreneurship full time? So what I'm trying to say here is basically this. Before you even make a decision on losing one thing or losing the other, or gaining one thing and whatever, moving things around, make sure you're maximizing whatever that asset might be. So what that basically means is if you're a full-time college student, right, and you're trying to start a business, okay, and you're basically saying, you know what, I feel like college is the thing that's blocking me from being able to pursue entrepreneurship, you might end up lying to yourself, especially if I come into your life, for example, and just analyze what you do in a week, and I see that maybe on Fridays or, Sundays or weekends, when you basically have downtime, free time, or maybe when you come home from campus, whatever it might be, I find you're spending time watching Netflix, maybe partying and doing all those different things, and you're telling me that if you left college, then you'll be able to be more productive. That's a huge lie to yourself, because you're not already maximizing what you have at the moment. So basically, when it comes to balancing things between work and business or college, whatever it might be, vice versa, it basically means you've got to be, number one, the first thing you always have to do is make sure you're maximizing whatever time you already have right now. As soon as you maximize something, then you can be able to balance it, because you know the full potential of each side and how much each side is going to cost. Either time, whatever it might be, resources, you can be able to finally have a grasp and understanding. And then number two, you have to know what's the top priority. Okay, you have to know what's the top priority, because when you know what's top priority, then you can be able to basically say, you know what, I don't necessarily need to put too much time into A, I need to put more time into B, because this is what really matters for my future. So for some people, that might be their work, some people that might end up being their work/business, and some people might end up being their college. So you have to understand which one is the main priority, and then from there, and the maximum potential you can put into each and every of those sections, then you can be able to come in there and digest and be able to break down, what do I need to put more time into, and what can I be able to kind of take back a little bit less time. So based on my personal experience, what I was able to find worked well for me. I'm not sure if you have this option as well, but what I ended up doing was doing college full-time online. And what that basically enabled me to do is, I knew for me personally, I can be able to perform well in college because I've always kind of been a self-learner. And I saw that me going to lectures, now by the way, my course is IT, Information Technology Management, so I can be able to do that online. So if it's a person who's doing something like a doctor or maybe nurse, something that you have to be there physically because you're doing some things that you need to be there with a professor or whatever it might be, especially for medical and stuff like that, then you probably might not be able to do this option. But that's what I told you before, you have to put this in your own shoes. I'm just giving you based on my personal experience how I was able to adjust. And by me doing online, I was able to basically decide that, hey, I can be able to just get up in the morning at 4 in the morning and basically do college for 4 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the morning, and finish up college and get everything done. And then from there, I can be able to work on entrepreneurship the rest of the day. And now the other thing that also, for me personally, I'm not a person who's trying to aim to be the Kuma Cum Laude, I'm not sure if that's pronounced right, basically getting some crazy achievements for straight A's, 4.0 GPA. So that basically means I don't have to get or put in so much time into trying to get crazy high scores. I just basically, I'm getting, enough to be able to pass and still be able to be above average by a little bit. Or even personally, I usually joke with my parents sometimes. I'm like, you know what? They tell me the minimum is 2.0 GPA to graduate and just get my credits. I'm like, if I get that, I'm good. And that's basically, for me, my perspective. I'm not trying to get high crazy scores in college or anything like that. That's just kind of how I've always been with the educational system. And that's based on my experience. Now for you, excuse me there. And for you, you might be a person who's like, you know what? I want to get straight A's. That's what matters for me. And if that's what matters for you, then that you can be able to adjust your time based on that priority. Now you see what I meant there by priority, and you saw how I was able to break down and where I was like, this is my priority. For me, it was more of an entrepreneurship, and I'm like, I still do want to get a college degree, but I was able to put more time into entrepreneurship by still making sure I can be able to pass on these other things. So for you, for work, college, university balance, you can be able to understand those different things. And then the final point on number 3 is basically this, okay? Make sure you're not doing too much of anything. Okay, I'm not sure if that makes sense. Too much of anything is usually not too good. Even if it's something that it's productive, like making sure to study, make sure to put in work. If you do too much of anything during a very short time period, it's gonna burn you out. And when you burn out, you're gonna end up making decisions in a very emotional state. Okay, when you're in a very emotional state, you're not going to make the right decisions. You might end up doing something that's not good for you in the long term. That's why it's good for you to be able to understand what the different things you need to be doing, understand the maximization. It's very key for you to understand your maximum potential in whatever you're doing. From there, you can be able to balance and be able to reach the goals you need to get to. So you want to make sure you have a good balance in your work and whatever it might be, your business, and a good balance in your education with college and stuff like that. And so you can make sure you're not burning out in one place or the other. And the other good thing is that when you find out what's more of a top priority for you, like for example, for me, it's entrepreneurship, I can put in way more hours into entrepreneurship and not even feel a second of being burnt out, compared to if I put in 8 hours, 9 hours a day in studying in college, I'm going to be burnt out by the 4th hour. 3rd hour probably, because that's just who I am, okay? Compared to another person who's like, I love college, I love education, I can study for 12 hours straight and still be good. So that's why you have to make sure you understand what your life balance is and where your passions are aligned, so that you make sure you're not burning out. Burning out is basically, most of the time, comes from fatigue of where you're basically, your personality, your inner self just does not love what you're doing too much. Your passions are not lined up with it. So you basically, first of all, you already feel miserable trying to do it. So if you end up putting hours into it, your energy into it, your mental energy, then you're gonna feel burnt out. Same way for an athlete, okay? People who love running marathons, they can run those marathons. A person who doesn't love running marathons, they'll do 10% of what a person who runs a marathon does, and they'll be burnt out and be like, nope, I'm done, I'm gone. Okay, so that's why you gotta make sure you know where your passions are lined up. And that's why I was telling you have to understand which is the more important part. That's why it's very, very personal, okay? And I hope I answered your question, Ibrahim. This is a wonderful question. I personally enjoyed this question. It's a very big key question. And at the end of the day, it's very personal. But if you break down those 3 key things that I went over and you understand and you're able to just kind of balance it based on your own schedule, then you'll be able to find the answer within. And most of the time, if you're asking yourself, there's one thing I'm learning from one entrepreneur that I usually read his books, Grant Cardone. It's usually like, if you're asking yourself a question about something, it means that you need to change something. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, person who's like, man, do I need to start eating healthier? The chances are, yes, you do need to start eating healthier. Do I need to start working out? Chances are you do need to start working out. So if you're asking yourself a question about, do I need a better, work/business and university/college balance, or education balance, or even high school, whatever it might be, chances are, yes, you do. So if you ask this question, chances are you need to find the answer soon, and then you need to adjust into that location you need to get into. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another episode. This has been ER Q&A. Make sure you can send your questions I'm having a little bit of a problem speaking today. Sound a little bit, I usually do my videos later in the afternoon. Maybe my brain's still kicking up a little bit more. But basically, if you want to ask questions, send them on Facebook or on the YouTube comment section, whatever it might be, whatever works for you. I'm perfectly fine. I'm here. And I'll try my best to get a video up and answer your question. All right? Thank you very much for watching. Peace out, and we'll see you in another episode.